Hey, you ever walk into a place and just feel the air's heavy, like something's wrong? That's how it was for Lena Carter, barely 3 days into her new job cleaning houses in this swanky Atlanta mansion owned by the Warrens. She's racing up the grand staircase, heart pounding, because she hears screams a little girl's voice, raw and desperate, coming from the second floor. That voice. It's Sophie, the 6-year-old daughter of the homeowner, James Warren. Lena bursts into the room and freezes. There's Sophie, born without her lower legs, dragging herself across the floor, reaching for her wheelchair or throne, as Lena would later call it, while her grandma, Evelyn, stands there, cold as ice, saying, "Stop your crying. You're already broken. Don't be a winner too." Can you imagine hearing that? A kid, just trying to exist, being crushed like that? Lena's no hero, not yet, just a woman trying to pay her bills, raised by a single mom in a rough part of town, used to keeping her head down. But seeing Sophie like that, something in her snaps. She kneels down, a level with the girl, and says, "Sweetie, you've got the prettiest eyes I've ever seen." Sophie stops crying, just for a second, like she's never heard a kind word in her life. Lena lifts her into the wheelchair, whispering, "There's your throne, princess." And that's when Evelyn loses it. "Who do you think you are?" she hisses, shoving Lena back. "You're paid to clean, not play savior to a cripple." She grabs Lena's arm, hard, and spits. "Get on your knees. That's where people like you belong." Lena's shaking, but she kneels right there, scrubbing the floor with her bare hands, tears burning her eyes, while Sophie watches, terrified. James walks in at that moment, sees this whole messed up scene, his daughter shrinking in her chair, Lena on the floor, Evelyn looming like some wicked queen. His voice cuts through, sharp. "What the hell's going on here?" Evelyn spins a story, all sweet and concerned, saying Lena's interfering with Sophie's growth. But Sophie's tiny voice breaks through, whispering to her dad, "Grandma hid my chair again." James looks at the wheelchair, pushed way out of reach, and something shifts in him. He's been drowning in grief since his wife, Anna, died in a car crash 2 years ago, too lost to notice what's been happening in his own house. That night, the cook, Marla, who's been with the family forever, pulls him aside. "James," she says, voice low, "Evelyn's been cruel to Sophie when you're not around, hiding her chair, telling her she's why her mom died." James feels his blood turn cold. He's been blind, and it's eating him up. Lena keeps showing up, though, because Sophie needs her. She starts sneaking in moments of joy, making rag dolls from old cleaning cloths, telling Sophie she's special, not broken. But every time, Evelyn's there, ripping the dolls away, locking Sophie in a dark closet as punishment. Lena's stomach twists. She knows something's off, way deeper than just a mean grandma. Then she overhears Evelyn and her lawyer buddy, Tom, plotting. They're talking about sending Sophie to an institution, saying it's better for her. But really, it's about controlling the family's money, Anna's inheritance, tied up in a trust for Sophie. Lena's heart races. She's just a maid, but she can't unhear this. She starts digging, sneaking into Anna's old room, untouched since the crash. Under a pile of scarves, she finds a letter. "James, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I found out things, Evelyn and Tom, they're not who they seem. Check the attic, our dream space. Protect Sophie." Lena's hands shake. Anna knew something, and it got her killed. Things spiral fast. Evelyn and Tom frame Lena, planting Anna's jewelry in her room, trying to paint her as a thief. James almost buys Itha's trust, and Lena wavers, and it stings her more than she expects. She's falling for him, you see, not just because he's kind, but because he's trying so hard to be a good dad despite his pain. But Marla saves the day, pointing out Tom sneaking into Lena's room on the security footage. James confronts him, voice like steel. "You set her up, didn't you?" Tom stammers, but he's out the door, fired. Lena's cleared, and James looks at her differently now. There's a spark, a quiet what if between them. But Evelyn's not done. She kidnaps Sophie, dragging her to an old warehouse on the edge of town, demanding James sign over the trust. "Do it, or you'll never see her again," she sneers over the phone. Lena's not letting this. Gosh follows James, hiding her phone in his pocket to record everything. Inside the warehouse, it's like a movie showdown. Sophie's tied to a chair, eyes wide with fear. Evelyn and Tom spill it all, how they tampered with Anna's brakes, how they've been bleeding the family dry for years. James keeps them talking, stalling, while Lena sneaks in through a broken window. "You killed my wife," James says, voice breaking. "And you think you'll touch my daughter?" Evelyn laughs, cold and sharp. "You're weak, James, always were." That's when Lena makes her move, tackling Evelyn, wrestling for the gun Tom pulls out. A shot rings out, missing everyone. But it's chaos. James knocks Tom out cold. Lena frees Sophie. And Marla, bless her, had called the cops. Sirens wail, and Evelyn's face twists as she's cuffed, screaming, "You'll regret this." But it's over. Fast forward, and the Warrens' mansion feels alive again. James proposes to Lena in the kitchen, down on one knee with a simple ring, saying, "You brought light back to us." Their wedding's small, in the garden where Sophie zooms around, tossing rose petals, grinning like the sun itself. Months later, Sophie's thriving at a new school, teaching another kid in a wheelchair to love who they are, just like Lena taught her. Lena's in college now, studying to help kids like Sophie, and James? He's found balance, never missing a school play or a quiet night with his girls. But here's the thing, what if Evelyn wasn't just greedy? What if she thought she was protecting the family's legacy in her twisted way? Did she deserve life in prison? Or was there a spark of humanity in her we missed? And Lena, did she risk too much, diving into this mess for a kid she barely knew? Tell me in the comments, what would you have done? Hit that like button if you felt this story, and share it if you think love can really conquer all. Let's talk about it.